So I did a video on this game before, and unfortunately it was entirely in Japanese. So I decided to pick up the English version and have another run through it. Um, I first of all, I erroneously referred to it as Nobunaga no Yaru when it was actually Nobunaga no Yabu, or the other way around. I can't remember. But here today on Anglaise, it's known as Nobunaga's Ambition Sphere of Influence, and I really like it. So I've picked it up. I've learned the systems properly. I've played through a couple of the scenarios several times, and I've really enjoyed it. Um, so I've started up just a little quick scenario here. Of course, I have decided to play as Chef Boyardee of the Boyardee clan. We set up base here on this little island. Usually I'll start either from Satsuma. I think the first game I started from Satsuma up here. Then I started in Izo around Hokkaido up here. But yeah, you can start anywhere, provided there's a fort that you can take. If you create your own clan, that is, you can start as any clan in any scenario. The some of the bigger clans will have their own specific missions. So if you create a clan with your own created officers, which you can create the officers, set their skills, make the game as easy or as difficult as you want. And as a matter of fact, in here, if you go into in-game edit, we can edit the officer. That's okay. And just run through these. Go to this guy, change his face, change his birth. Well, I can't actually change any of that. Changes personality, his tactics, the lifespan. You know, there's a lot of stuff you can do here. It's a very, very user-friendly game. But, I haven't even played any of it yet. So here it is. The presentation's pretty cool. Of course, it's kind of dinky and, for something that has this great breadth, the loading times are nothing. And, the map is always there. It's always persistent. There's no loading in when you zoom into anything. So, the fact that this doesn't look amazing is a-okay by me, because most of the time you're playing it from, well, around here, I'd say. Maybe a bit more, something like this. But actually, yeah, let me get something going. I'm gonna just go in here, and then I'm gonna choose what this town, or I guess it's castle, focuses on. Of course, you have different overseers. I'll pick Chef Boyardee to be the overseer, since, see, he'll do way more uh, progress, I guess. And you can see the upper limits, but you can increase the upper limits by improving the town, which is what I can't do that yet. I don't think the town is big enough. So yeah, starting out with these tiny clans has its issues. This is another clan that I've created. Uh, they don't think very well of us, but we'll just try to invade them, because I started here in an area where all the other clans are pretty big, pretty powerful. These guys probably have allies though, so yeah. So I'm gonna just go straight for these guys, and we'll see what we can do. Of course, I'll run through the menus quickly. This is, civil this development menu. Then you got the policy menu. You can enact different policies depending on what sort of leader you've been. The things that you build, the policies that you use. How you go about diplomacy. If you just invade, that dictates whether you're progressive, neutral, or conservative, and officers will have different reactions towards you depending. Like it's pretty deep. It's pretty deep, or maybe it sounds a bit deeper than it is, because it's just kind of a number really. But then again, that's all that all video games are, if you think about it. But like, no, honestly, it's a deep system, and it takes some getting used to, but you'll get used to it real quick, and you don't even have to play it. Actually, yeah, bring up that menu, and you can just make the AI do everything and just watch the game play out, which I'm sure somebody's done it. I'm sure they've had some fun. So I don't know. In this menu, the construction menu, add facilities to towns. This is upgrade the castles or bases. This is repair forts. This is fortify a post. So you have like little areas in between roads where you can build forts and you can fortify areas. Like, I haven't actually used that too much. Improve the roads just means your soldiers will move quicker between areas. Expand the town, add a new district, which is how you'd increase the limits on your development and stuff. But you need X amount of population for every time you can upgrade it. I think it's for every 500 people you can add a new district, and then this is change district, add a fort, and dismantle a fort. This is move officers between towns, so you'll have officers. This is the whole diplomacy menu. You can do diplomacy with clans, you can do diplomacy with the imperial court, and that can be pretty useful. This is the whole idea of tribes. There'll be little tribes around. They can assimilate to you. Like if you have their support, they'll help you in battle. If you have their unquestioned support, they'll actually move into your town, quickly increase your population. Here's the sort of officers menu. Employ Ronin, who just happen to be in your towns. Castle Lords, I haven't used that much, but it increases their loyalty. If their loyalty drops too low, they can defect and move to another clan. Here's the sort of idea of teaching skills, giving gifts to officers, marrying your officers to maidens. You can marry into other clans, and you'll have their indefinite support from there on out. I mean, you can break off that marriage pact, but here you can sort of survey for little mines, and you might need mines or quarries or lakes to build certain things in districts. And here the province menus, you have a very specific sort of circle of control. So if that's my main base, I can control this sort of area, but if I capture anything outside of this area, I don't have direct rule over it, so I'll have to set up another district and give power over that district to one of my officers, so I can't directly rule anything outside of here. But I mean, then again, I can move my main base to somewhere like right in the middle, so I'll have more areas, and that's something you'll probably want to do at some point. But here, let's just go through this turn. It takes a lot to explain, and in the last video, I know for a fact that I couldn't figure out how to do the real-time battles. I'll try to show some of that. I'm gonna skip this just because I don't have time, but you do have dialogue, and they'll give you missions, and this is gonna be, hey, increase this, increase that, and increase that, and I don't know what the rewards for those are, but citizen happiness, stuff like that. What do we have? 1532. That's pretty good numbers. What do they have? 1000. I doubt I'd be able to take them over unless I got the support of the tribes or the support of someone else. But yeah, let's increase their support. Sure, why not? And of course, their support drops if I'm not consistently giving them money, basically. But some of the turns will go that quickly, just like that. Some of the turns will take way longer if you want to do stuff, if you want to do diplomacy. And when you get more and more areas, you can just automatically, because you'll see next time when I go into the development menu, it has a suggestion. Here, it says, more soldiers mean more security, my liege. How about focusing on conscripts? And you see there's a red bar to conscripts because there's not enough crops to feed the conscripts. So you have to improve the crops first, then to improve the conscripts. So his suggestion is conscripts. But if I press square, that brings me send out recommended orders to all bases. If I press that, overseers choose, so that would have defaulted to conscripts. So yeah, you'll be using that a lot when you have a load of bases, unless you're doing something very specific and you want to override their orders. So let's go get the support of these guys again. And you sort of get diminishing returns. The first time it went up from 12 to 52, then from 52 to 82. So it was an increase of 40 the first time, but then only an increase of 30 the second time. So hopefully we can get it up into 100. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. Hopefully we can get it up to 100 in 1 or 2 turns. Oh, we can get it up to 100 this turn. Okay, so they will help us if we try to invade. And let's actually see what happens if we do that. Let's go straight for these guys. And I hope that the tribes will help me. Alright, they're coming out to meet us up here, and we'll go into the real-time battle next turn. Let's see what the tribes are saying. What? let's get their support just in case. And let's do some upgrading here. Of course, upgrading costs money, but it's really not a lot. And money starts to, it's a worry at the start, but then it stops being a worry. So here you can see the tribe is actually helping me. They've given me 1,000 men. And let's go into this battle. We have 2,500 men. They have 1,200. This should be pretty slim pickings. And we have 2 units. They only have the 1. We'll sort of flank them here. These guys can run around here. Increases attack. I want to increase speed. So yeah, you have, so this is the sort of menu. The blue and red bars are overall power. The yellow bars they just regenerate over time and therefore ability. So this would use 2 of those bars, and you can see it glow red. We don't want to use that quite yet. We can increase the speed here. And of course, it does get more detailed once I see their unit. Until I see their unit, it's only that red block. But yeah, now that I can see it, I see those funky little animations. I mean, for a game that really doesn't require it, and I guarantee most people when they play this, at some point will just stop doing this and just leave the AI to take care of the battles. There's also an idea of a mass battle. Like once, ooh dear, oh dear. Once I finish this, yeah, we'll charge them. Once I finish this, the unit won't be destroyed, they'll just retreat. But if it's a mass battle, they will be eradicated. So, but if you lose, your units will be eradicated. So, yeah, there's a whole thing going on there. And you want to be careful on some battles. Oh gosh, they got more people. So we'll just let this one sort itself out. It shouldn't, okay, here's some of the world story stuff. Because there's always stuff going on in the world. We don't particularly care, but, you can turn those to off also, actually. So it's totally customizable, totally up to the player. Let's do some more of this. Let's get some more support, and then let's see the battle. Oh, that was quick. What does Takeda say? So the Takeda clan. I was playing as them in the last time I played this game, the Japanese version, and I erroneously referred to it as the Nobunaga clan. But yeah, it was actually the Takeda clan, just the guy that looked like Nobunaga. Oh, okay, so I can't even capture the castle. Well, fuck that. So yeah, I I entered a truce with Takeda, Takeda, or I think maybe it was done on behalf of these guys. These guys asked the Takeda clan to negotiate a truce on their part. So I can't even take it over. But you saw some of that stuff. Once it gets into taking over castles, it becomes, a sort of waiting game, because you have an idea of provisions. I only have 35 days left. I need to pass through, either friendly, someone that's in a coalition to me. I think these guys, oh no, they won't give me provisions. But yeah, provisions are very important. They're the one thing that will run out, and that's your crop. So the more crops you produce, the more provisions you have, and you need a lot of provisions to go to war. But I mean, this is mostly it. This is mostly the grind. It really gets into, you can see the size of the map, and you can see the amount of little bases everywhere. You want to form alliances, but you don't want to form too many alliances, because that restricts unification in a way. But I mean, it's really up to you. And I think this game does a great job of letting you do it your way. So that's about all I have to say about the game. Let me guys know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I'll see you guys next time.